E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories TV show. Live streaming now to millions of devices around the world on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook live streaming. Our shows are available video on demand on these channels. And we broadcast daily, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on these channels. On Mondays, Expanding Your Business. Tuesdays, Finding Health Naturally. Wednesdays, Mentoring Our Youth. Thursdays, Pets We Love. And on Fridays, Women in Leadership. Brought to you by our producers and hosts, Jim Grant and Donna Guinois. Along with our host, Beata Severin Reed and Emerson Brantley. Supported by our admin team of Michaela Vidal and Gaia Guinois Balconi Weda. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. As you see today, I'm joined by the young and the handsome Mr. Emerson Brantley. Hello, Emerson. How you doing?
Jim.
It's such an honor to. Oh, it's my honor to be here. We got some great guests here. We got a great topic. First of all, our show is proudly brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. And that webinar, that 6-minute webinar, it is a tool that you really need to get your message across. In a nutshell, within 6 minutes, you have an opening, introduction, opening, body and close, and a call to action. Classic example, the other day, I got on saw an ad, clicked on it, I was kind of curious, and they went on for 20 minutes what the problem was. And if I wasn't familiar with the problem, I wouldn't be there in the first place. And the 6-minute webinar eliminates all that nonsense because your client wants to know one thing. What can you do for them? That's it. And we're also brought to you by my good friend, Mr. Bill Heinrich, The 7 Levels of Truth. This is his book. And Mr. Bill's book's 30 years in the making. This book here is about helping you discover what's blocking your energy, what is holding you back, and how to help you realize that you're entitled from the universe all the way around, from the Heavenly Father all the way around. You are entitled to enjoy the abundance of love, joy, jubilee, and life. And also, Mr. Emerson Brantley, we're brought to you by Web3 Direct. I'll let you talk a little bit about Web3 Direct there, Mr. Emerson.
Well, Web3 Direct does marketing strategy with companies, and we worked in over 30 different countries. Businesses of all sizes, from small mom and pops and solopreneurs all the way up to Fortune 50 companies. So anytime that you are trying to build your business and your marketing, I'm going to give everybody one thing to remember. It's not about how many people you can get in the door. It's about how many people you can have not come in the door, so that you're just working with the people that you want to be with, who want to be with you, and life becomes a joy every time you're with them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also with Emerson, I got to say this. I was in a class with Emerson down at Speaking Empire. He was teaching it. And it was the very first day. And I'm going to make this very, very short, sweet, and brief. And we just sat down. I just had my first sip of coffee. And he's up there and he starts out and he says, Jim, out of all these people in there, Jim, what's the first thing you want to do with your marketing? Attract as many people as you want? No, you want to repel all the people you can't help. So I looked around, everybody's looking at me. I said, well, it's obvious I need this course.
Well, and I told you then, and I say it a lot, it's the yin and the yang. Everybody talks about the law of attraction, the universe, attracting business or whatever it is that you want in your life. But there's the equal and just as important law of repulsion, where we're are crystal clear on the people that we don't want and the ones that we do want in our life.
Excuse me, absolutely. And there's one little tidbit I want to leave with you before we start inviting our first guest on. Emerson has taught me to ask the 2-word question. Folks, pay close attention to this. When you're going to make a comment about, an event or a product or whatever, after you make that comment, ask yourself this 2-word question. So what? So what does that mean to the folks out there in the field? It may sound impressive to you, but you're not going to write a check to yourself, are you?
Well,
so what?
Since you're describing that part of it, the so
All right.
what for the people. And by the way, you need to be able to tell people what the so what is, because they don't always figure it out themselves, if you know what I mean. And if you've ever told a joke that went flat and nobody got it, you know exactly what I mean.
He's talking about me now, folks.
when you're putting information out, the so what about knowing who you don't want and knowing who you do.
Yeah.
The so what in that is this. So you can be working with and spending your time with people who bring joy to your life, who love you, listen to you. There goes the A-team, just like you said.
Never fails. We always have the A-team calling Mr. Emerson. That's because he's highly in demand, folks.
But anyway, it's about clearing that clutter in your life out so that you're able to really focus and connect with people on a whole different level. And it changes everything about your business and your life.
It really does, because it enables you. Yeah. Yeah, it really does, because it enables you to be able to communicate with people that you can really help, and not just, talk to people who can, that's not really interested, or you really can't help them, Emerson, we got some people backstage, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
I'm going to let you do the honors of introducing them as I push the button and bring them on. Who you want to bring on first?
Well, one of the people that we have has been on the show before, and that's Connor. And Connor is here today, I believe, with his mom.
Yep.
Christine. And the other guest that we have. Hey, Connor. Hey, Christine.
Hi. I'm good. Happy to be on. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for our next guest.
I am too. This is Connor. If those of you might remember the show that we did, he and his mom have a business, and I'll let you describe it. It's dealing with microgreens. So I'll take that away.
Our mission is to educate and empower people to grow their own nutrient-rich, delicious, and economical food. And the best way we found to do that is through microgreens. Microgreens are those tiny little sprouts, or they're the stage right after. So, like little alfalfa sprouts, they're just grown a couple days more. And by them a couple days more, they become the most nutrient-dense stage in the life cycle of a plant. And they're just delicious food. So while we're at a fair sharing our microgreens, these two people, and after the younger kid, Elijah, he had no interest in greens at all. And then he found amaranth greens. They're purple, like the purple red.
Like a fuchsia.
Yes, they're fuchsia.
Beautiful.
They're beautiful, and they have a really earthy flavor. And he just fell in love. Ever since, he's been growing his own microgreens, and it's just been amazing to see. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Connor,
that was a perfect introduction there. What do you think?
Oh, it really was. And ladies and gentlemen, Connor and his mama, they're out enjoying the good life. They're about 40. Their address is 40 Plum Street right now, which is 40 miles from nowhere in Plumback in the woods. So the audio may not be up to speed, but that's okay. We're just so glad they're here. And I'm going to let you invite the next guest, Emerson. And let's see. I see the young man there, and I'm waiting for Natasha. She's coming in the door right now, so she'll be here in just a second. So let's just go ahead.
Our special guest today.
There we go.
There's
the young man, Elijah.
And Elijah is being joined by his mom, Natasha.
Okay, thanks.
And Elijah is an amazing young farmer dude who grows microgreens.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm going to let y'all tell the story, okay? And there's their health. Anybody who's watching the show, if you have children or other members of your family, and they maybe have health issues and things that they're dealing with, great nutrition changes so many things. And I'm going to let our guest today just riff off on some of that and tell first how y'all met, okay?
Let's wait just a second. Let's go back just 1 second on that. And I want Natasha to talk a little bit about her background, but I'd like to say this before I turn the mic over to her. For all you ladies and gentlemen out there that have kids that don't like greens, I was the same way when I was a little kid. And my mother and dad loved for me to watch Popeye the Sailor Man eating the spinach because I became a spinachaholic. It didn't work, but at least that means. Natasha, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. Please share with the folks a little bit about who you are, your background, that sort of thing, and then we'll go forward from there.
Yes, because you work with a very, very important organization.
Yes.
Yeah. I work with the ARC Nassau. I'm the program manager of employment services, and we work with people of all abilities. We have several different programs. Moved here about a year ago from Jacksonville. It specifically has a special place in my heart because I myself have a genetic disorder. I've lost my mom and my sister too. And we have family members. We have 2 nephews that have autism that are impacted. So it has a very special place in my heart. But I met Christine when I was at one of the local markets, and my son was very intrigued by it. At first, he was really hesitant, but he really enjoyed the amaranth. But it was something that was really special because I grew up gardening with my mom, and it was something that I could share with my son that we could spend time together doing. And it's really something that he enjoys doing with me. And it's health and nutrition is important to me because of my health issues and because of my husband. He's also he's diabetic, and it's very important for me to have something that's healthy for all of us, because as a mom, I want to make sure that my son has good nutrition, and he doesn't always want to make the best healthy choices because he wants to sometimes have things that are not the best, but we want to let him eat chicken nuggets. But at least with microgreens, I know that he's going to get something healthy, and it's something fun for him to do, and he gets to watch it grow, and he gets to have something fun to do, and it hits all those points that we want.
Yeah. One important thing there,
kind of a gardening green thumb yourself. So this is also something that the 2 of you are able to join in and work on together, right?
Definitely. And we just moved into our new home about a year ago, and we have the perfect window. We have a bay window right in the kitchen, and it's the perfect setting for us to be able to do that. And right now it's covered in plants.
And bamboo.
And bamboo. Wow.
Bamboo. Yeah. That's really amazing, because one thing I like to, just share very quickly, if I may interject. You see there on the marquee, ladies and gentlemen, that's Natasha's email. So at any time during this broadcast, you'd like to find out, about Natasha, like, tell me more about this because I've got a kid that doesn't like greens, or I've got this problem. Please, please, please feel free to give her, send her an email. She'll be more than happy to get back with you on the information she's going to cover throughout this show. Okay. And
I'm going to say this too, Jim.
Okay.
Knowing that the kind of work that you're doing with the ARC, and the ARC serves special needs adults all over the country. And in my own experience in marketing and working with clients, I have gone to the ARC on more than one occasion and just had phenomenal work that was done, and people were able to have a sense of dignity and empowerment and a place. And I encourage anybody, if you own a business, to look up the ARC, A-R-C, and find the things in your business that you could outsource and have done. And that would be a great support. That's a better support than even writing a check to support the organization, because it's something that gives purpose and meaning and value. So look it up, or if you reach out to Natasha, she could probably tell you where one is at near you.
And we always try to connect able-bodied individuals to employers that are seeking individuals that are wanting to work. And we try to make sure that it's a good fit for the employer as well as for the individual. And it's a great benefit for the community. It's a great benefit for the employer and for the individual, because it gives them a sense of purpose. Because the main thing is they're wanting to work and the employers have a need, and we're looking to fill that need.
There you go. I really encourage everybody to do that. So I want to get back to the star of this show, Elijah, Farmer Elijah.
No,
So-
don't call me that, please. No.
Don't call you? No?
Don't call
Pardon?
me that.
Okay, what do you like to be called?
Elijah, that's my name.
Okay, I stand corrected. Elijah. So did you like greens and vegetables before?
I actually don't know.
A little bit.
A little bit? But now you grow them. Tell me about that.
I like growing them, but the only part I don't like about growing them is that they take like 7 days. It's annoying. Having to wait a week just to grow food, and it's just annoying because
Look at the camera.
it's so long for
But
a
you get
little-
something fresh.
a little bit of microgreens, and that's the annoying part.
Well, you know,
I'm not patient.
that's most people, and not just most people your age, but most people don't really know what it takes to grow our food. Isn't that right, Connor? You talk about this, don't you?
Okay.
And
Connor?
it's something that I really do. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We're having some technical
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
technical stuff there, but yeah, most people today don't actually realize, Elijah, where our food comes from and how long it takes to grow it. And it does. And you know, Jim and I have talked before on this show. Nowadays, you can just go to the store and buy just about any kind of food you want, right?
True.
But somebody had to put the seed in the ground. Somebody had to water it. Somebody had to grow it. Somebody had to watch it. Somebody had to go in and harvest it and package it up and put it on a truck and drive it across the country. All of that work that they have to do. And when you're growing it yourself, the fun of it, I want to hear what the most fun part of it is for you.
Well, the best part is that I get to grow something when I get to eat. Yeah. I get to grow it, then I get to eat it. But the only one I like is amaranth, I think. I don't know. I know I like the amaranth.
That's his only one he likes.
That's okay.
Mhm.
How do y'all use the amaranth?
He just likes eating it by itself. He doesn't
Really?
use dressings, no condiments, no ketchup, no sauces whatsoever. He just started eating pizza 2 years ago with sauce, so just straight up amaranth. He likes it plain. He loves the bright color. It's Red's his favorite color, so that was his favorite one. And that was kind of his entry point into microgreens. Anything else, I'll put into smoothies for him, and he'll drink. I call them ogre shakes. He's been drinking those since he was 3.
Oh,
And
wow.
we'll just leave it at that. He doesn't know what's in it, and we're gonna keep it that way.
Tell me what's in it.
Uh-oh.
Tell me.
Mum's the word.
Tell me.
But it's he does at least try the other ones. He's tried them and it's just not been a fan. But we still have about 4 other packets. We try to keep rotating them, and so far he's at least trying them. So I'm happy with that. But
Well, you may need to share some of your recipes with Connor, because I believe Connor's talked about doing a cookbook of sorts to show people all the different things that they can do with microgreens. Did I put that? Did I say that right? I think I did. Okay, thumbs up. Okay. Yeah, you'll have to share some of your smoothie recipes. And then you'll be featured in the book. So you'll not just be a star on TV, you'll be a star in a book that people get too.
True.
Wow.
he can be like any
Just
trying
say-
this
No.
Too quick.
No.
Let me just say very
No.
movie.
Fine. I don't.
internet issues.
Well, now Jim's kind of breaking up. I think we're having some really interesting technical issues here today, folks. And
I'm
know-
shooting the computer.
Yeah.
Emerson, hear me carry on, brother.
Okay, we'll carry on, and Jim may have to bow out and come back in again too.
Okay.
I've had to do that a time or two. You know, you just never know. And I have to say this though. I have watched shows on the evening news where they had a reporter who was dialing in, and they had the same problem. So it's not just us with the problem. Natasha, what kind of differences have you been able to see that the microgreens have made the health-wise for Elijah?
We noticed that he just with nutrition wise, it's just a healthier aspect of his nutrition. I try to make sure that he does have healthier options. We limit his sugar because he has ADHD. We try to limit what sugar he has. We try to make sure that there's no red dyes because that impacts him in astronomical ways. And it's definitely just a healthier component to his diet.
Well, I'm sure a lot of our viewers have someone in their family that has different health issues, maybe even the ADHD like you were talking about, but there are many others. And there's something about really good fresh nutrition that we just don't always get in the food that we're able to buy. Even when we buy food at the store, Connor often talks about, that food might have been picked weeks ahead and then shipped. And it's sometimes it's picked, it's not even ripe. So they stop the growing process where a lot of the nutrients are coming in. They cut that off, and then you're eating it days or weeks later. So growing your own food.
I consider
I hear you.
I consider microgreens a part of my medicine. They have really helped me and impacted me in so many amazing ways. So I'm super happy to hear that they're helping you. And I remember when I was a kid growing microgreens and being able to grow and eat my own food, it gave me this sense of empowerment. Like, I'm doing this, I made this. And it made me want to eat my food because it was mine. It wasn't something I just walked into a store. So I'm so happy that that's how microgreens have been. And it just warms my heart.
And knowing, because sometimes when you go into a grocery store, not going to name places, but you can buy fruit from one place and another, and one's going to last a lot longer. And it's it's nice knowing, hey, this is going to last me at least 2 weeks. But it's also scary knowing, hey, this fruit lasts 2 weeks compared to another one that's only going to last days. Not having preservatives, not having chemicals, not having pesticides or anything. It's all fresh. And it's nice knowing I grew this. It's going to be fresh for my son. It's not going to have pesticides. It's not going to have chemicals. It's something that's fresh that I can give him. And we can just keep growing it. And it's healthy. It's a great option for him. That's not going to have any chemicals, pesticides, no preservatives. It's something that I can feel safe and comfortable knowing that it has nothing on there that shouldn't be on there. That I can give him no chemicals whatsoever. I mean, there's enough preservatives in everything that we eat daily as a consumer that I don't want him having. This is something that I can give him that I know that's not going to have any preservatives on it for him. So I can feel safe giving him this, and he can grow it himself.
That's terrific.
Yeah,
So you get to have fun.
I want to tell you.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
was to
Christine.
meet I want to tell you how fun it was to meet the two of you. So many times we see families come up to the booth and try them, and the kid looks up to the parent and says, "Mom, can we get a kit?" And the parent says, "No, not today," and they walk away. Every time that happens, my heart drops, because I know what they're walking away from isn't just a kid. It's, like you said, time spent with your child, doing something different than TV or a video game. And that this child is going to learn, that it takes 7 days just to get it to this level. And what you can talk about photosynthesis and the root system and the leaves and the clotting, there's just so many aspects that they can learn in it. And so when Elijah looked up at you and said, "Mom, can we get a kit?" and you said yes, my mommy heart jumped. And then to see the joy, you guys keep posting your new crops, and you allow us in to follow you and to be part of the process. Natasha, you and Elijah have just given Connor and I so much joy, because that's exactly what it was like for us on our journeys.
And to hear Elijah be like, "Wow, it takes 7 weeks for this," and like, that's so long. It's like so amazing to hear that. Yes, no, 7 days. Sorry, because like with gardening and planting, it takes months and months. So it's one of those things. Like, it's like, wow, like just to be able to see someone see the time frame of how that unfolds.
The interaction isn't just the 15 minutes in the store. It's that process, and
it lasts a lifetime too.
And it teaches more than just the science of growing a plant. It is the exchange of energy and loving that plant and watching it grow and being patient. Like, you're even learning how to be patient, which isn't always my. Maybe I need to grow more microgreens. But thank you so much for letting us and be part of your journey with you. It's been fun for our family to be in this with your family.
Absolutely.
I just listening to both of you, it really warms my heart, because there's so many ways that we can be engaged with our kids, and we can do things that are fun, and we can also do things that they're learning about different aspects of life that they wouldn't know otherwise. So I mean, and when you're able to tie that in with the health and wellness, and like you said, where this comes from, that it's these are pure plants, that they don't have any sprays or additives or other things on them. That's about as organic as you get. There's some peace of mind there. We regularly hear big scares where they're having to recall foods because of the mass production, of so much of the food that we have. Mass production of vegetables, not just mass production of boxed foods. But to know that you put in the seed, you put in the growth material, the water, and so forth, and you're seeing it happen. There's such a joy in that. Now, I got to ask you, Elijah, have you told any of your friends about this? And what did they think about it?
Some of the kids at church.
Yeah.
I haven't told anyone about it besides.
Well, Xander, your friend Xander's come over and seen all this stuff.
True.
Mm.
I think they'll just go on with their day because, yeah, like that.
Well, what do you think they're going to think when they see this when they see the video of this show, and they see that you're on national TV talking about this, and you hadn't shared it with them? You need to share it with them.
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
You don't think they'd be interested?
Or you just don't want to share your amethyst with them?
I actually no. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
He was actually talking about getting some catnip for one of his friends.
He has like 2
you'll have
cats.
you'll have a kit for that, don't you? What do you call that kit, Connor?
Purple?
It's our meow greens.
The Microgreens.
It's
That's it.
Wheat.
That's what they are.
Yeah, it's a mix of wheat, rye, oat, barley, and great for cats' digestion. Cats are actually meant to have grass. It's just that we dry our grass outside.
Why are they supposed to eat grass?
It's for cats. We don't.
They get folic acid from the grass. That was a great question, Elijah. So
Yeah.
we don't. Interesting fact. We think that cats eat grass because their stomach's upset, because often after they eat it, they'll throw up. But what that is that they don't really have the enzymes to break it down fully, and so they have to throw it back up. But during the time that it's in their stomach and they're getting their folic acid from it. So it's a really important. That's if you have an animal that's eating all the plants in your house, that's what's going on, is that that's part of their digestive system, and they need that. Especially if you have a cat that doesn't get to go outside, it's important to grow something like the Microgreens.
And it also takes 7 days as well. So it's maybe a little long, but it's also, the benefits are.
We introduce it a little bit earlier than the 7th day, so that they start growing off it, eating off of it at a baby stage.
Yeah, just that germination.
Well, and if the amazing thing to me is that it only takes 7 days to grow.
Instead of months.
Well,
It's much longer.
that was a little that was a little slow. Aren't you glad it doesn't take 7 months though, huh? But it takes, it only takes 7 days to grow, and you got to harvest. And if you do what you were talking about, Christine, and y'all rotate them, so you got a couple of different trays that are going, you've always got greens to make those mom's super secret shakes with, to have on salads and to put in soups and things like that. Oh yeah. Well, you are going to be a rock star with your friends, and who knows, they may want to be on this show too. You might have to invite a couple of them once they start finding out about the greens and they start growing them. Maybe we'll end up having a whole bunch of kids on here. What do you think about that, Connor? That can be fun.
I would love to have them.
Yeah, and Natasha, I just think the synergy between you guys finding us at the little market there and then finding out that you actually work with ARC, and we had been talking with Emerson about going over to ARC to have them put the kits together because it would just be so perfect. We had thought about it a couple years ago. We had talked about it, and Emerson's got us all motivated to go and follow that. And I'm so excited. I just feel like there is such synergy, and it was divine that we met, and here we are. And I'm super excited to see Elijah becoming the rock star he is. He's on our brochure. He's on our website. He's now on national TV, and who knows where this is going to take you, Elijah. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, me too. It can be scary being on TV, so I'm really proud that you're showing up, and I'm really happy you came.
Great. Say thank you.
Thank you.
No kidding.
Thank you for being
Star of
on.
the show.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it.
Well, yeah, and we still have a few minutes left. So I mean, I don't if there's some other things, I was thinking about this whole thing with the ARC while you were talking there, Christine. What would be really cool would be because one of the things that Christine and Connor do for every kit that gets bought, they provide a kit normally to like a school. So if any of you have, would like to find out how you can get kits, these amazing microgreens kits for your kids' classes or for your school, reach out to me or to Jim, or you reach out to Natasha, or go to Amelia Island Microgreens and check in with Connor and Christine. But making this into something that kids are able to do is huge. It's huge. It exposes them to an entirely different part of the world and of life, and you see the excitement that's there, being able to watch something that you planted grow, and then to actually get to eat it. And then playing around and finding out how to make smoothies with it, or how to use this one in a salad or in a soup, and all of those different things. It's a whole new area of discovery, and that's exciting all by itself. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
So much great.
Good.
There's so much creativity as well. You can even use half of one seed and half of another and make fun little designs in there, or just experiment making your own little blends and you can just the possibilities are completely endless. It's amazing.
Yeah, and kind of jumping off of what you just said, Emerson, we had an opportunity. We were at another little market on the island. The executive chef from the Ritz-Carlton came by and was super excited that there was a local microgreen farmer. And then when he found out Connor's age, he was just so excited. So we've been talking about growing microgreens for him, and him sharing a recipe and a meal with us so that we can start to bring the viewers some really cool recipes and ideas on how to plate your food with microgreens, how to add them as well with what food. High-end restaurants have been using microgreens for a long time as a very upscale way to plate their food. And what's so cool is now we can begin to really understand how we can make our as beautiful at home. Like Elijah, I'm right there with you. That is Amaranth is one of my favorite greens. It looks like a battery was to it. It glows. It's so full. Your food to life at the table. It just seems to taste better when it looks pretty.
Well, you know, the Ritz Carlton is, you know, that's one of your top hotel lines in the world. There are a lot of other chefs out there maybe watching this show, other people with businesses. I encourage you, check out, the site is right there in front of Connor and Christine, Amelia Island Microgreens.com. Check it out, because not only can you begin adding this into the dishes that you make at home and for your guests at the restaurant, if you have a restaurant. But every single time one is bought, it's also giving into another child being able to have a kid and experience this themselves. I mean, there are whole areas of this country that are just food deserts where the kids don't have the advantage of being able to experience something like what, you know, it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, because you can see the excitement that Elijah has.
Oh yeah.
And the connection there with his mom, and the connection here with Connor and Christine, and being able to have that common connection, and be able to have good nutrition, and be able to also be providing every time you buy a kit, to be able to be providing for another kid in a school somewhere to be able to. I think maybe we ought to talk with when we're talking with Natasha about the Ark later. I think maybe we ought to look at being able to have some of the people that the Ark is working with and helping actually have receive some of those bonus kits themselves. I mean, that would be a great.
That would be super. Yeah,
Our
I'd
life
love
skills
that.
program would absolutely love that, because under the individuals in the back, we work with our life skills program where they come to the day program. I know that they would absolutely love that.
I'll tell you one
That's
thing.
awesome.
I hope I got my connection issues solved. Does everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great, Jim.
Okay,
Yes.
good, because evidently I made somebody mad in the studio, and they kept me in detention for a while. So I don't know what I did. But there's one thing I want to really point out that's really a big time issue with me when it comes to these microgreens. They are grown inside of a very protective environment, because you're in charge of that environment. And I know a lot of people that say, I only eat organic, and that's fine. To me, all vegetables are organic. But the question I have there, and I think it's a valid question, is what do the organic growers do to combat the acid rain that falls on the crops? It's going to get absorbed into the soil and into the roots and into the plant. And therefore, the microgreens being in your control, in your house, wherever you want to put them, you don't have to worry about that. That just really, to me, that just stands paramount out there when it comes to managing your health, especially people who are very much concerned about that. Take a serious look at that, because that to me is a huge benefit. It really is.
Yeah, a lot of times you may
Jim,
have some type of health issue or something and not even aware of the fact that you're receiving different chemicals and things through the foods that we're eating.
Yeah, and everything they spray with them.
Yeah, what they spray on them, what's in the ground,
Yeah.
and
and what they do at the
Go ahead.
grocery store. Go ahead, Christine. I think you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah,
please.
there we actually had a naturopathic doctor that we were talking to that found out that a lot of the crops in California in the Fertile Valley are being watered with fracking water. And so it's not just the water, you're absolutely right, but also the water that they're because out in California with the water crisis, the quality of the water isn't always the best. So when you're growing these at home, you have control not only of the water, but I've driven by huge farms that are right butted up next to a freeway or close to a city that has a lot of pollution. And I've always kind of wondered how that affects the crops as well. So it is
Exactly what
all
Jim was
have
talking
control
about.
over-
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds me too of
Yeah,
the fact that if those crops are raised beside a cotton field or some other field where the farmers notoriously spray with an airplane, that's another consideration. I mean, it's just this thing, the thing about microgreens is that you are in control from the alpha to the omega, from the seed to your stomach. How about that? Should I get the seed to the stomach? That's a good one. We already used that one,
I think I'll let you get that website, Jim.
Oh, okay. All right. But it really is amazing. I've heard a little bit being backstage of your story there, and my goodness gracious, I love the fact that you and your son can do something together that's enjoyable, that's beneficial, because as I said when Connor was on the first show, being a country boy, I grew up on a farm, and I played in dirt and ate dirt and all that. And I mean, I love to get my hands dirty. I still do. And but I understand as a young boy the joy that Elijah gets out of doing something and knowing that he did it and he can see the results. That's a blessing that never gets old. I mean, it just brings pure joy and jubilee to your heart. And Natasha, in working with Elijah, I haven't been able to catch everything on the show because I've been in detention. But what is one of the things that you'd like to tell a mom out there who'd like to build a relationship with their children and use microgreens to be that bridge?
Just if you see a spark and they're wanting to do it, just say yes. Do something small. Spend that time with them, and it's worth the few minutes. And there's very little time that we get during the week to spend together because of work, because of school, because when you get home, there's so much that you have to do. And when there's something that he actually wants to do, say yes.
Yeah.
I know that it's a little bit of an investment. It's not that much. He enjoys doing it. And I know sometimes I am a self-admitted control freak. I want to do this myself. I want to make sure that it's done right. But he enjoys it. It doesn't matter where the seeds are scattered. Let him do it. It brings him joy to see that this is something that he's accomplished, that we've done together. And it's going to get a little dirty. It's going to get a little messy. Yeah. Just have fun with it. Let them do it. It's going to be okay. It's something that they enjoy doing, and just get your hands dirty. Let them make a little bit of a mess and have fun with it. There's so many options out there that you can choose between the seeds, and just let them have fun.
Yeah. Three things I want to interject right quickly, if I may. On the website there, Connor's website, that thing is flying by so fast I can hardly read it, but it's Amelia Island, microgreens.com. Be sure and stop by there and check out the information there. Also, too, to get in touch with Natasha, this is her email. And whether you want to talk about ARC, microgreens, or whatever, please get in touch with her. And one of the things I love about this show, Emerson, is Natasha was talking about what clicked in my mind about moms and kids. If they got a cat, how about the meow greens for the kitty to be able to bridge that gap? Because animals have a tremendous way of communicating with you. I don't know what it is about me, and I'm just going to say this real quickly about me and cats. For some reason, cats looked at me, and within 2 minutes, they think, you don't look too smart. This is not going to be any challenge. And somehow or another, I become their servant. It happens 100% of the time. And Emerson, that's a great way for parents to be able to use
yeah.
like a cat in their family that kids love and they love, and grow meow greens. Did I say that correctly? Meow greens? And I better not say that too loud. Dixie may say, "What's meow greens?" That's my little kitty. But that's a great way to really springboard into that. Wouldn't you agree, Emerson?
Oh yeah, yeah. Doing it for your pets. You also have the Jurassic greens. Those are cool too.
Yes,
You can,
that's for
you
your
can tell
animals in
about
the yard.
Yeah, bigger animals.
Your omnivorous and reptiles, so the ones that eat bugs and the ones that eat and also greens, so,
Mhm.
and some herbivores too. But on average, reptiles are either carnivore or
Herbivore.
herbivore. No, yeah.
Herbivore.
Yep.
Mhm.
Tell them a little bit about, when you started, you took, because Kale was, or Dart was getting only kale. Dart's Connor's bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon looked much happier and also started growing. Yeah, more active too. Because when you go to buy kale, or collards, you're giving your bearded dragon or whichever reptile one type of vegetable, and it's also been sprayed, it's been shipped, it's everything that us as a we having a human body, we can kind of process that. It's still a challenge for us. But when you're talking about a tiny little creature, that's even more important because they don't have as much to process as we do. So able to have something healthy for your reptile is really important as well.
For everyone in the family,
Mhm.
including
What
our
show
pets.
is this?
This is your show, man.
Yeah, this is your show, man. You're the star of the show. We're just I'm the guy in the back that, sweeps the floor and mops and all that, empties the trash. We're at 52. We're at the 52-minute mark. We got about 4 minutes left, Emerson. I'm going to give you a chance to do some closing comments, and all of you to do some closing comments before we have to, depart. Go ahead, sir.
Well, we've covered an awful lot of territory.
Real quick,
and,
Elijah.
Go ahead, Connor. What were you going to say?
I was just going to ask Elijah if there's anything else he wanted to share about Microgreen, how they've impacted, like how he enjoys them, or anything else you'd like to share?
No.
That's one thing about kids. You ask them a question, they'll give you an honest answer right out of the gate.
Well, I think it's brilliant growing these and using them, and the new discoveries that you made about how much you like to just eat them right out of the pan. I did out of the kit.
Mhm.
So I think it's wonderful. So I'm hoping anybody who's got kids in the family, you want to get kits for your kids' classes, or you have your pets, your reptiles, or your cats. We got to come up with one for dog people too,
Yeah.
We have a dog.
Yeah.
If you folks out there know business people that like to get involved with something very, very positive with the school,
Oh yeah.
it would be a great way of doing it. It really would be. And I'm just going to say,
Go ahead, Jim.
I'm just going to say, be sure and check out Connor's website. Get in touch with Connor. I'm scrolling down here to find it. Everything is slow today on this in the studio. here
Amelia
for some
Island
reason.
Microgreens.
Yeah, Amelia Island's Microgreens.
And if you
Go ahead.
If you have any questions or want to learn more, please feel free to reach out to us. Our phone number is on our website, and so is our email, so you can reach out to us. We also have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. If any of those places you want to reach out, by all means, we'd be really happy to help. And we love to teach people things that really make a difference.
Also, too, for those of you that would like to get in touch with Natasha and ask her about ARC or some of the things that you really connected with her, please get in touch with her there at her email address, and she'd be glad to answer your questions and help you. Also, too, if there's anything you'd like to know about anything we provide here on the show, including the 6-minute webinar and Mr. Bill Heinrich's, his complimentary, let me get up here to the top here, his complimentary consultation on what's blocking your energy, just let us know. And I think just let us know at inspiration@e360tv.com. That's the one. I'm looking for the marquee here, and evidently someone moved it here on me. So that's what happens, probably I did it, but inspiration@e360tv.com. We'll be glad when that email comes in, our staff will get it, and they will make sure that you get the information that you're requesting to you ASAP, because that's the way we operate. And I see you. He's got his hand up, huh? Did you have something you want to say, young man?
What's the name of the show?
Messages of Inspirational Stories TV show.
Okay.
You can see us on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and just all over the place. And we're international. We have a lot of followers over in India, Pakistan, Europe, Japan, Indonesia. I mean, we've even got some people here in the United States. Emerson, can you believe that? They started watching this when Web3 Direct joined us there, brother.
That's right. That's right.
It was your dynamic charm and your personality that attracted them. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone today, and we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure and like and share this show with someone that you know that could really benefit from this great information that's been shared today. And in closing, on behalf of Emerson and our guest, we want to remind you to be sure and love yourself first. Then you can love others. And always love yourself enough to give yourself grace when you make a mistake. And on behalf of everyone here, we just hope and pray that you and your loved ones are healthy, happy, and blessed in all areas of your life. We'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get out of attention with the studio, whatever I did. I don't know what I did, but evidently I did something. But we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening or a good day whenever you see this. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Everybody wave bye-bye.